さて、第5期調査団の諸君、そろそろ時間だ。別れの言葉は必要ないな。この船に乗ったらもう後戻りはできない。もし覚悟が失われたのであれば、ここで引き返すことを進めよう。それではこれより新大陸に向け出航する。君たちに導きの青い星が輝かんことを。
Oh, it's good to be back. So, welcome to the Return to Zero challenge. This first video, it's probably going to be a little longer than the others, but I'm effectively going to just go through the first few beginning quests before getting into the main meat of the challenge itself, which is obviously the repeated fights against certain monsters. I'll take a little bit of time here in a sec once I'm creating my character to explain the rules of the challenge in case you don't already know them. For now, just enjoy the cutscenes.
よう、もうすぐ新大陸に到着だな。あんたも準備完了？いよいよか。国を出てから長い旅だったな。あんた緊張してる？俺はそうだな。少し怖いけど楽しみ。
ねえ、もしかしてあなた推薦組じゃない？
キュグ、俺たちもなんだ。な、名前を教えてくれよ。
Okay, so without getting into too many pointless details, the challenge is to effectively collect every single armor and weapon in Monster Hunter. And also all of the charms, because why not? That's kind of a tall order, though, considering how many pieces of armor and weapons are. There are some exceptions, like the Kulv Taroth and the Safi Jiva weapons, specifically, are not required for completion. And the seasonal event armors are also not required for completion. Additionally, I would also like to get all the Palico armor. I'll see what I can do with that. On top of that, I'm going to be doing a good percent of this challenge, a good chunk of this challenge, completely solo. So there is also the fact that I will have little to no help even against the final boss. One last relevant rule for this challenge is that I do have to use the relevant weapon for each monster I hunt. So if a monster has a greatsword and a longsword, then I must use a greatsword and a longsword to hunt it, even if I already have all the required parts to make all the things that I require from it. So this is not just going to be a challenge about collecting everything, it will be utter mastery of every single weapon. The hard way. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy. Yeah, I was going to speed past this next part now, so. Not to take up too much of your time. Okay, that's my character done. Finish and name. Guess this name is okay. And now for my Palico. Oh, and a thing you should know, I actually do have a Palico that I use throughout all of my Monster Hunter games. And I have a very specific design philosophy for him. Okay, and there's my Palico, Crow. Welcome back, buddy. I might have to recustomize my character. I'm never quite sure about their look, but I'll figure it out.
お近づきに。
推薦組同士頑張ろうぜ。乾杯。
Also, yes, I use the Japanese dub.
古竜はなんで新大陸に向かうんだろうな。
In fact, I
あん
prefer
た
it.
は新大陸に古竜の秘密があると思う？調査が始まって40年ぐらい経つんだとさ。ギルドは俺たち5機団の派遣で古竜あたりの謎が解明されるのを期待してるらしいぜ。
そういえば推薦組って2人1組が原則らしいよ。あなたパートナーとはもう会った？
You know, I don't know why so many people hate the handler so much.
わかりますか？さっき突然波の音が変わったんですよね。陸が近いからかな。あなた推薦組でしょ。よろしく。さっきの話ちょっとだけ聞こえたんです。はじめまして。何を隠そう、私も。
Ah, and disaster strikes. But anyways, continuing on. I don't know why people hate the handler so much. In fact, out of every Monster Hunter game I've played so far, which I started in 4th gen actually, I think this handler is my favorite. Aside from, what's the second team in Wilds? With the blonde-haired handler? Yeah, this one has a lot of personality. A shame they don't have a name, as far as I know. What are these ships made of that thing didn't crack immediately? That's impressive. It won't matter how many times I replay this game, I mean, I was gonna wonder that. I don't think we ever really get a straight answer outside of maybe Elder Dragon Bones. Yeah, I'm on my way.
あなたは見てください。私たちの船が。 いけない。このままでは。ここにいると危険です。こちらに。私に考えがあります。気をつけて。急いで。よし、思った通り。 あっちです。あの先へ。地面が。
You know, I usually get hit by a rock by now.
あ、ここは。あの雪に捕まって脱出しましょう。急いで。走って勢いを。ジャンプして飛び移るんです。
I I really wish we could have seen this thing without its shell at least once. Well, in-game. I know there's concept art that like shows it's got like little wings and whatnot, but such a shame that it has to just be a walking island in this game. Limits of the engine, I suppose. Oh, I mean, they got Xenojiva working, so... To give a little context as to how far I've gotten in World, despite having a total of 1,700 hours, I've never gotten very far into Iceborne. The first time, because I decided to start this challenge, and then a couple more times because my file got deleted or corrupted. And now this time, because I am restarting this challenge for YouTube, except with actually well fleshed out rules. Now, I'm probably going to add more as we go anyways. Okay, let's get moving.
これは誰かが作ったキャンプですね。テントに地図の一部がありました。
Here, gimme.
私たちがいるのはこの辺りですね。ここが調査拠点。私たちの船が到着する予定だった場所です。今はとにかくこの調査拠点を目指しましょう。地図を頼りに進んでみましょう。
Another complaint I hear about this game a lot is people don't really like the map being as windy as it is. Thing is, I rather love it actually. It gives it a lot of nice verticality and whatnot. A lot of the other games felt a little too flat, especially when I went back to first gen one time. Like the only really super elevated area I believe was the tower and maybe an ice mountain. Or I could be remembering Dose, I'm not sure. I don't have great memories of the earlier games. Nor have I ever finished one of the older games, unfortunately. Never really had a chance to. I could emulate them, but I really don't want to. I'd like to actually do it on legitimate hardware. You know, I've never really followed the handler before. Let's see how long it takes her to find point A.
向こうと変わらずおとなしいんですね。
Oh. Nice to get a little introduction to the Aptonoth. Actually, never seen that before. That's cool. These things are people who are new to this series, or, well, this game particularly. This is a Vita Lily. It heals you. Simple. Abuse it. A lot. Seriously, these will save you so many potions. In fact, having the, let's see, do I have... No, I can't look. There's a skill that makes that we heal more from external elements. No honey here. So that means there's no resources. And no red pit there, which I only just now noticed. Here, hold on. Are you gonna do it? No. Ah, yes. The dumbest lizards in fiction. Jagras. Funny how I used to think these things are cool, and then I fought, you know, Jaggy and whatnot. Which, yes, I think Jaggy are cooler than these things. Cringe if you want. I also think they lose aggro a bit too fast in this little tutorial.
静かに。もう大丈夫ですね。今のうちに。
That's it. Oh,
うーん。
wrong way.
ちょっと。
Also, unless you're trying to be stealthy, if you can help it, hop off these ledges. You don't need to climb down them. It takes too much time. I'm not much of a speed hunter or anything, but... I'm not going to be slow if I can help it.
これは痕跡。向こうにもありますね。
I think this little area is one of my favorite early game areas simply because of the simple trap right there. It just works so well. Unfortunately, not on this guy. Well, in this scene anyway.
よっと邪魔するぞ。ほらよっとこっちだ。急げ。
行きましょう。
行け。
You know, I don't think we get to see the field team leader actually fight. Which is kind of a shame, because that would be really cool.
相手にすんな。早く燃え。
I feel so bad for that Jagras. Don't get me wrong, that lizard is annoying, but I don't think anything deserves to get ragdolled like that.
おい、
大丈夫ですか？
行くぞ。
はい。
いいだろう。天然の門構えをくぐったその先、ここが調査団の拠点アステラだ。
調査拠点アステラ。
5機団は全員到着している。お前たちが最後だ。
これで手当てして
大丈
おーいあんたたち
夫。ちょっとごめんなさい。無事だったのね。
大変だったな。あんたたちが見当たんなかったからヒヤヒヤしたんだ。
よかった。探しに行こうかって話してたのよ。
なんてことなかったです。
おい、手伝ってくれ。
ほら、
じゃあ後でな。
That guy makes that armor look good.
ここが流通エリア。
Not the field team leader, the excitable
俺たちはそう
A-lister.
呼んでいる。
人も物もこんなに。
すごいだろう。
Though, the field team leader does also have a pretty cool design.
それを支える技術者、あらゆる人と物がここに集まるんだ。まさに調査団の中枢地さ。ちょっと待ってろよ。じいちゃん、連れてきたぞ。
I think this hub area is also one of my favorites in all of Monster Hunter. It really feels, well, I guess like a quickly shoddily built research facility.
ようこそ。
It feels nice, classic.
そうそう。 ちに。じゃあ一通り案内するよ。ついでにお供をしましょう。
Okay. Hopefully we'll be let off the leash soon enough.
必要なアイテムを揃えられる。
欲しいものがあったらここに来たらいいですね。
Much as I like looking at all the cool stuff, hunting is my favorite part about this game. Though, unironically, fishing is a close second.
次は加工屋だ。行こ
Or really just any expedition activity. There's just so much to do. I might try to get as close to 100% as I can in this game
う。調査団の
on this file.
お前たちで5回目なんだろ。俺のじいちゃんは一騎団だ。一騎団はすげえ昔に来たらしい。俺か？俺は何騎団でもないよ。ここの生まれだからな。加工屋はここだ。武器や防具を作るところさ。覚えとけよ。
加工屋入ってみてもいいですか？
You know, I've always just gone immediately onto the canteen. Is there anything I can do in
熱
here?
気がすごいですね。
次は食事場だな。行こ
Ah. Yeah, they just tell you to leave.
う。行くか。
Fair enough, I suppose. He's here to make stuff,
はい。
not chat. But a lot of characters in this game have a lot to say.
こっちだ。ここが食事場さ。
あそこに。
Ah. There he is. The illustrious Crow. Man, I messed that up.
よく頑張ったね。
But this little furball right here, in any game I play, is the most reliable companion.
行くか。
I've got a few friends in my chat group on Discord that
一同揃って
aren't too
いた
fond of their palicos.
これより作戦会議を開始する。海を渡るゾラマグダラウスを船で追い、ついにゴキ団が新大陸に到着した。大きな戦力だ。この長きにわたる調査の決着が期待できる。ひとまず代表として彼らに出席してもらった。
ご騎団のものです。よろしくお願いします。
ここにいるのは調査団の要の連中だ。よく覚えておいてくれ。
よろしくね。
本題に入ろう。今回渡りを行ったのはゾラマグダラウス。火の山を背に追う巨大な古竜だ。我々調査団最大の目的はこの古竜あたりの解明にある。
およそ10年に一度、新大陸目指して海を渡る古竜たち。道すがらの生態系を変え、地形を変え、時には災害を引き起こし、はるか古来より古竜とはそういうものとしてあるんや。
奴らが一体何のために新大陸に渡り来るのか、今こそ解明しよう。
やりましょう。
ああや。今後しばらくだが、ハンターたちは小型モンスターの調査と調査拠点の安全確保を頼む。
By investigate, he means get rid of.
まずはジャグラスの生息域調査だな。状況によっては討伐も検討してくれ。
はい、頑張ります。
他の皆々はいつも通りだ。ハンターたちを手厚く補佐してやってくれ。
腕が鳴るぜ。
ゴキ団はこちらのやり方になれるのを第一の目標に。しばらくは指南役を頼るといいだろう。
だとさ、一緒に行こ
期待しているよ。 その旗印と同じく調査団の追い風となってくれること。以上、解散。
ああ、こっちだ。
Wait, before I go, I must know.
いかがした？
Okay.
二等マイハウスに行こう。武器を装備するんだ。
There's something I'm going to test here. Now, before you all cringe, I should warn you, I don't play the longsword for the reason you think I do. I play it for the counters.
そのアイテムボックスに装備がある。
And also, the ridiculous amount of movement it has. It's a strangely mobile weapon. I originally thought it was going to be me standing in one place and doing, like, kind of strong attacks, but it's actually kind of nimble, which is really nice for my playstyle. I'm going to be a little rusty, though, so I'm trying not to hold that against me. Yes, but before I go and grab a quest, I've got somebody I have to talk to.
食事場にクエストをよ。
俺たちが行うべき様々な調査内容は編纂者がまとめているんだ。まとめたものはクエストと呼ばれている。
Ah, that's all he's got to say.
いいか、こっちだ。
それがハンター。調和を目指す。
Okay, so basically just here to research stuff. I'm probably going to cut a lot of this out in future episodes, but we're going to take this one a little slow. See what needs to be left in, see what needs to be taken out, that sort of thing. Anyways, not going to buy anything from you just yet. I should mention, by the way, before we get into this, small monsters like Vespoid and whatnot, I'm not going to require the weapon use rule, where you have to use a specific weapon against them, depending on what weapon you are trying to make. Because that would be really, really, really dumb. It's only against large monsters. And also Elder Dragons. Okay.
待ってました。うんうん。さあ行きましょう。新大陸へ。
Basically, this quest is go in, deal with a bunch of Jagras, and get out. Simple as it gets, really. Oh, and don't worry about me using only the longsword. While it is my main weapon, it is not the only weapon I will be taking throughout this challenge. Not only is the weapon use rule a thing, but additionally, I'm going to switch just, you know, because I do want to keep it a bit fluid, you know. Have some different weapons going on. I'm not going to make all these builds and not use them after all. Though the hunting horn might get the least use from me. I'm just not very good with it.
クエストには目的が設定されています。今回はジャグラスを指定数討伐する。地図を見てみましょうか。ジャグラスとは 調査拠点に向かう途中であったあの小型モンスターです。確かこの場所でしたね。行ってみませんか？ルールその2、支給品を利用しよう。支給品とは調査団から支給されたアイテムです。
Oh, we're going to be farming the supply box early game, by the way. Don't you worry.
先輩のそばの箱に入っていますね。必要なものをよく考えて持っていきましょうか。
A little tip for those of you who are new to the series. The supply box has all sorts of things, including ammo. Here's the thing. Only a couple of items in that box are quest related, which means you can take them from the box and keep them. That includes ammo, as you're about to see. And considering how much bowgun I'm going to have to be playing, well, I'm going to need all of that ammo. I won't need this. While we're moving, may as well change a few options.
気をつけろよ。攻撃するときは武器を構えろよ。
By the way, I switched to manual sheath instead of auto sheath because sometimes there are situations where you will want to keep your weapon unsheathed. So it's better to just have complete control over when it's sheathed and when it's not.
私が生態マップに書き込んでおきます。
蜂蜜があるな。これがあれば回復薬グレートを調合できるぞ。
Especially when it comes to the bowguns. I want to go back here. Gimme.
これはスリンガーの弾に使えそうだな。離れた場所に撃つことができるぞ。
目的のジャグラスです。
さあ、お前一人の力でやってみろ。でないとこの先生き残れない。
Here we go. Ah, they ran.
モンスターの素材を集めておけよ。加工屋で必要になるからな。
I'll try to avoid over-explaining certain things. I plan on making some videos going over weapon details later on. And also, like, you know, ideal armor skills and whatnot. I'll try to keep that elsewhere. Though, when I make a particular build, I will go through the effort of explaining how, why, and what. Okay. Got all their attention. Zap.
あるものは全て使えよ。たちは鋭い攻撃が得意な近接電気が溜まれば鬼人斬りを繰り出せるぜ。気を締めろよ。よし、帰ってじいちゃんに報告するぞ。
I still got plenty of time. It took a bit too much time. Now, on the upside, the longsword is a powerful weapon. However, the swings are a little too big sometimes, so they want something more precise, like, well, not quite dual blades, but a sword and shield, for instance. In fact, if you're just getting into Monster Hunter, sword and shield is probably the go-to weapon. Yep, there's also the Great Jagras, as well as a few other monsters. And Kestodon, I suppose. Though, usually they're getting hunted by Jagras, not the other way around.
Yosh.
I'm a little sad that we didn't get a Great Kestodon of some kind. That would have been cool.
Aibo, 二期団の親方さんが呼んでました。加工屋に行ってみませんか？
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go around ask a few more people what they want. I'm gonna speed through this a little bit and summarize.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this guy does research. Basically, you come here to get your book updated on certain monster information. That said, right now, we don't really have anything to collect. This is for the Gathering Hub. This is where you go to do multiplayer stuff and raids. It's also where special events take place, like the arena. This guy makes airships, and he feels bad for sending some people out. I won't say to where yet. But he is certainly skilled. Over here, we have the armory. I'm going to say one thing right now. Use of the armory to obtain weapons is banned. You must craft them. Also, I will not be using the Defender or Guardian weapons and armor, though if you wish to, I won't stop you. You'll see why I say it that way for yourself if you ever use it. Ooh. There's something I can do. Something every new player should do is head into their room and speak with this guy right here, the housekeeper. And then right here, early weapon upgrade material set. This will allow you to pick one weapon to upgrade way farther than you can currently do it. Now, while I will not be using the longsword in the next mission, it is going to be my main weapon, so it is going to be a good idea to upgrade my longsword first. However, I'll be swapping to hammer shortly. This guy say craft a majority of your equipment. He's also just generally pretty chill. Okay, here we go. Oh, I have the materials, but not the money. Unfortunate. But yeah, you get 2 Dragonite ore extremely early from this. Which is good. Oh, right, armor spheres. Yeah, additionally, I will not be using armor spheres until Master Rank, or G Rank as it is originally called, for one simple reason. I don't need them. So I'm just going to save it for the armor that I'm going to be using the most when it comes to the end game. Well, I think I won't need them. I don't know, there's some monsters I've had trouble with even with good practice, so we'll see. Oh, and right, you have a quest. So I'm going to try to keep side quests on screen to a minimum, unless they are interesting in some way. Like this one, you just go and collect some stuff, so I'm going to do this off screen on my own time. But quests where you hunt or capture specific monsters, I will absolutely show that. Is there anything else I want to do here? Ah, neat. I'm going to go make one final upgrade to the longsword real quick. I will be back. And there we go. Oh, one more thing to note. Iron weapons generally have better sharpness, but they have, well, worse damage. Whereas bone weapons have higher damage, but lower sharpness. Keep this in mind whenever you're making weapons. Sharpness matters greatly due to the fact that sharpness is also a damage multiplier, so extremely hard sharpness weapons are usually going to be your go-to unless you have a specific build that actually leverages lower sharpness. Yeah, there's no real reason not to come up to the canteen. It's kind of got everything you need, even a supply box. So, might as well. Anyways. Assigned. Cast on Kerfuffle. By the way, to any of you who actually know, what do the lucky vouchers actually do? Like, do they just increase the cash you get at the end of the mission? Do they have better monster drop parts, chances? Like, what's their function, you know? Anyways, let's get started. Not gonna have y'all wait any longer. On my way. Ah, messed that up. What are you doing?
いたぞ。あれがケストドンだ。今回も一人でやってみろ。
Ah.
気をつけろよ。
Here we go. The reason I picked the hammer for this mission is that it won't bounce off of their skulls whenever I hit it. I mean, really? Let me loot in peace! Very least you aren't dumb. You just aren't prepared to take on a hunter.
気をつけろよ。ケストドンは小型のモンスターだ。森には大型モンスターも生息している。モンスター、環境生物、狩りに利用できるもの。周囲をよく見て覚えておけよ。
I will say one thing I really like about Rise, despite my complaints about the wire bugs, just being in the game in general. The endemic life in that game is insane. Well and truly impressive. Well, I wouldn't say impressive, but the way that they're integrated, like all their purposes and whatnot, they're really good. They're fun to interact with. Okay, let's see if I can't do something really funny here. Aw. I didn't get quite as many as I wanted it to. You know what, let's just spam it and see what happens. I can get that out before they actually hit me. Dang! You're a little tough. Stagger already. There we go. Yeah, you're brave, I'll give you that.
テストドンの調査は完了だな。来てくれ。ここに痕跡があ
Better
る。
not interrupt me. Don't do it. Good. This is probably obvious, but use your quest-assigned healing items first. They're going to get taken away at the end of the mission anyway, so might as well use them. Oh. I also want these.
こっちだ。ここだ。
So close.
ケストドンか。様子がおかしいな。行くぞ。
わかりました。
うん
新たなターゲットを緊急設定。ロスジャグ
Yeah,
ラ
I
スを
could go
使用
chase
す
it
る
down,
準備が
or
できていなかったら
I could go swap weapons.
ロスジャグラスのクエストを受注できますよ。
行くか。メニューで救難。
アイテムボックスでは所持しているアイテムの整理ができます。
痕跡を見つけたらできるだけ集めろよ。特徴を覚えたシルベムシが対象へ誘導してくれる。
Yeah, on second thought, I don't really need to bring these. Okay, let's go. I'll run through all the spots I know they like to be first. Yeah, might as well. Don't know how much I'm gonna use. Oh, by all means, do something stupid. Give me an excuse. Cool. You can probably tell I'm not a super huge fan of Jagras. It is for one reason. Their large claws, or not large claws, high rank sharp claws. They just don't drop for some reason. Yeah, it's entirely an RNG problem, I know. I can still blame them for it though, it's funny. You know, I've got an idea.
いいぞ。順調に見つけているな。
Yes! Yo!
スリンガーで発生する音を利用すればモンスターの気を引くことができるぞ。ロックオンカメラを使えばモンスターを見失わせにするぞ。
Gotcha!
モンスターにクローを当てればフラッシュでスリンガーの弾を落としたぞ。当てた部位の肉質が柔らかくなったな。
Ah. Yeah, we're just gonna shred you to bits.
スリンガー貫通弾だ。届かない弱点部位も強引に狙い撃ちだ。抜刀中でもスリンガーが使いどころを見極めろよ。モンスターが起こっている時は要注意。フローの安易な死を待って伝えた。
モンスターが起こっています。
I mistimed that.
に気をつけてください。
見ろ、だいぶ弱ってきたようだ。おそらく巣に帰って休むつもりだろう。
You're getting away, not from me.
攻撃を開始するんだ。まともに使わないように注意しろよ。
Huh,
帰
cool.
ってじいちゃんに報告しよう。
Went better than I thought it would. And now we can start the challenge properly. You see, now that I've hunted a Great Jagras, it's going to be the first thing on my list. Anything Great Jagras related, armor, weapons, that sort of thing. I'm now going to be looking to craft every single one of before I move on to the next monster. And that's pretty much how I'm going to divvy up all the videos. We're going to get out of the quest, of course, and I'll take some time to, you know, say my thank yous to those who are on my Patreon and whatnot, but yeah. That's basically going to be the loop of the series. And by the way, whenever I go out to hunt monsters and whatnot, I'm not going to do every single fight as a big, long fight. I am going to do, like, highlight reel stuff. So the first time I fight a monster, sure, it'll be their full fight. Or much longer clips of actually interesting fights. But then after that, I'm just going to try to keep it short and sweet.
この痕跡は。
もしや行ってみよう。
This one isn't quite next on the list, but it's up there. And it's one of my favorites, actually.
やはり
It's
奴がいる。
quite unique, honestly. Not it's a poison-spitting bird. It's mostly the appearance I find to be unique. And it's got some pretty cool attacks, too, later on.
あの痕跡は何だ。あんなの今まで見たことがないぞ。
まさかゾラマグダラオスの。
少し調べていきたいが、ひとまずじいちゃんに報告だ。
Personally, don't think it's that hard to tell if it's from Zora or not. I mean, it's a giant lava rock. If it's that hard to tell, no wonder it's taken you like 40 years to find this thing. Well, that about wraps up our first hunt.
なるほど。
ああ。行くか。
キャンプ設立が進み次第、プケプケの狩猟を行うぞ。
調査資源管理所はどこかな。
どうだ。
Okay, what do you have to say? Wait, really? That's it? Yeah, that's fair. Also fair. I mean, why use a slinger when you could just throw it, you know? That said, though, the Clutch Claw is pretty cool, so I think I'll stick with it.
お疲れ様です。よろしく。
I'll make an effort to do more captures than I do slays, but we'll see. What else is on the list? One person at the smithy, likely the Clutch Claw quest. I'm gonna do this one off camera as well, so don't worry. Okay, time to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who think they'll like it too. And if you want to support me a bit more directly, you can head over to my Patreon. I'll have it in the linked comment, or pinned comment. Yeah. Anyways, that's all from me, and I wish you all a wonderful day.